How's it going, everyone? What I'm going to talk about today is my overall impressions, because the beta just ended, of the Battlefield 4 beta. I'm going to talk about aspects I enjoyed, things I'm on the fence about, and things I didn't enjoy over the time that I played it. I haven't played lately in the last 2 weeks or so, partly because I haven't enjoyed the beta, and the other reason being that I'm a bit sick, if you could tell by my voice. So let's get into it. First, the things I like are I like the new sniping zeroing system. It allows for better control of your weapon and less guesswork. You might argue it takes away from some of the skill of sniping and engaging ranges, but I feel it makes Recon as an overall class far more viable if the average sniper is improved by it. The good snipers now become absolutely deadly with this tool. The next thing I like is I enjoyed the new additions to the levels. By that I mean the addition of the ability to traverse in water, to strat it to strategic points, being able to use your pistol in water, the addition of boats, elevators in the buildings, and little minor things such as the ability to raise the little pillars that cut off enemy vehicles from entering a certain section of the map without having to get out and click the switch. Those little additions are pretty key and viable things that I think I might enjoy. The next thing, obviously, I think everyone agrees with this that plays Recon a lot, is giving C4 to Recon players. Again, it makes Recon more viable because now you're able to use your stealth to your advantage and take out enemy vehicles. This is like a flashback to the Bad Company 2 era where playing as Recon in Bad Company 2 is fantastic with the C4 edition. The next part is I like that suppression has been removed with regard to attacking Recons and Assault players for the most part, unless you're using an LMG with support. No longer are spray and pray type players rewarded and accurate players penalized by a very, very faulty mechanic, which, as much as I like the idea that trying to implement something new with Battlefield 3, I didn't like how it was used. I have whole videos about that. The next part is that I'm on the fence about. I'm on the fence about the changes to tanks. It does give the element of strategy because it makes you wait on ammo to regenerate, as well as makes your shots count, the ones that actually hit, a lot more, important. That being said, because tanks do regenerate health, I feel it slows down the pace of the game massively. This is, of course, without the reactive armor or any other type of countermeasure being used because the beta is limited, and this isn't even accounting for engineers to repair the tanks as you go. I feel like tank fights can be endless with two good drivers, gunners, and engineer combos, and as much as that might have been true for Battlefield 3, I think it's even more so in Battlefield 4 unless it changes from what the beta presented. The next point I'm on the fence about is the addition of a cooldown aspect to attack choppers. You can't sit high in a high altitude and just, use zoom optics as the gunner and rain down on helpless infantry spotted through 3D spotting. That aspect is removed, and that aspect I actually enjoy. That being said, in the beta I've already been in like 5-10 minute chopper fights where people on the ground, basically, if you don't get the chopper at the start of the match, you're not getting in the chopper, well, possibly for as long as you play Battlefield and throughout the whole day. It's a weird system. I do like the cooldown, so you can't just rain on, but I think it has to be tweaked a bit. The next point I'm on the fence about is the trade-off about being able to toss C4, but for a lesser blast radius. I get that decision was made for balance so that you don't have a huge blast radius and be able to throw them, but the blast radius on C4 seems a little bit low to me. Maybe that's just me, though. I didn't really care all that much about bunny hopping, but I don't really mind the addition of bunny hopping slowing your character's movement down. It just seems like a really weird overall movement change that was brought on by people complaining. I didn't feel it needed to be changed. Bunny hoppers always die by my bullet anyway. So, I don't know. Now, the things I didn't like, and there's quite a few of them, obviously it's the massive frame rate drops and 100% CPU usage. Even on my powerful PC that I bought in the summer, Battlefield Beta was hard to play on. Now, that being said, I am aware it's a beta. You don't have to tell me that in the comments. But that being said, I'm having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that even with the game optimized, with all this time they've had to work on it for about a month, that it won't be that much more improved. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Ideally I'm wrong. The next point goes without saying, and I've seen so many complaints about it, is the guided RPGs. Having a Recon use the PLD, target a vehicle, shoot an RPG at them. There's no warning given to the pilot. They can't counter it. and that just needs to go. I don't know why they put that in. It's the stupidest addition I've heard in a video game in a long time. The next point I don't like is the drop-off for tank shells. It's ludicrous. It should remain basically as Battlefield 3's did. It shouldn't be changed there. I don't like the damage of the main tank shell doing the infantry. I've seen multiple videos where the actual tank shell will hit an infantry player directly from inside 10 feet and he just gets propelled in the air with 0 damage. Might be a bug in the beta, that's fine. I understand little complicated issues that can be fixed. But that is just entirely screwed up. I feel like the overall splash damage on the tank shell is useless. You might as well just use the 50 cal. And that being said, the 50 cal on the gunner seat I think needs a bit of a buff because it's even weaker than it was in Battlefield 3. The next point is gunfights. The overall play of the infantry player seems a ton like Call of Duty to me now. It's drastically different than Battlefield 3 because there's next to no recoil, so that any player, regardless of talent level or not, can just spray and pray and get kills. I have felt a lot of the time that there's terrible hit detection, and again, all of these problems, like I was saying, could entirely be the beta, and they can entirely be fixed in the main game, but I'm just judging by what I've seen in the beta, and I just don't like the gunfights, so I'd like to see if they've actually changed quite a bit. It just feels like Call of Duty using the ACR from Modern Warfare 2. It's a laser, just shoots directly ahead. On the infantry topic, I don't like how long it takes for the medic to be able to take out his revive paddles. And how long you have to revive someone, basically. It takes a long time to take your paddles out, and it actually takes a short time for the meter to show up to actually revive them. It's rather short. I think it needs to be lengthened a bit. Next topic, and I hope it's not for the main game. I hate battle packs. The fact that you have to play a certain amount of time to unlock them to get a chance, and that's the key, a chance at a sight or a scope is insane. The random number generator factor on an FPS is a pure money grab and an overall terrible idea that I hope's abolished from the main game. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'd even play Battlefield 4 if battle packs are a main feature. I'm that serious about that. I also don't like the trading of deaths. Looks like poor netcode that I pray is changed for the final game. I don't like the movement of your characters either in terms of it, because it's like to be able to go from a standstill to a sprint takes like 3 to 4 seconds. That's too long in my opinion. I don't like how C4 disappears when it's placed into an elevator or the elevator moves. It should rather obviously either stay there, or until someone blows it up, not be affected at all. My video settings and key bindings were changing quite a bit after I logged out a lot. I hope that's changed. That'll probably be one of the first things to be changed, though. Maybe it's a non-issue there. I've heard the button layout changes for console are pretty dumb too. As a player that was playing on console as recently as a few months ago, I hope the people on console get that changed. Otherwise, I imagine the game won't be all that fun for them. And again, in some locations, you can spawn out of bounds the second you click spawn. You click spawn on a flag, you're already out of bounds. A lot of the times it took me, knowing that I've just spawned out of bounds with a 10-second timer, 7 seconds to get back in bounds. They should really fix that. The next point, again, I don't like, and there's a lot of them, like I said. I feel the mortar and the XM airburst are going to be abused to hell. With the 300-meter range it has, I feel it'll be absolutely rampant. And I also feel it'll probably end up being nerfed if it wasn't already nerfed in the main game. But that's basically my rundown of the things I could think of. It's only the beta, and I know things will be changed or fixed and nerfed throughout the patches, which I, to be honest, hope that patches are more numerous than they were in Battlefield 3, because dealing with something like the frag rounds bug, which lasted for months before a patch finally came out, is pretty ludicrous as well. I'd like smaller, more frequent patches if there's game-breaking bugs in there. There are some good changes like I listed above, but I feel like a lot of the things I discussed are either bad additions or situations that have regressed from Battlefield 3 that either need to be fixed now or ideally are just removed entirely. Hopefully they're addressed. Let me know if you have any issues that I missed, or if you disagree, let me know why you disagree in the comment section. See you later.